Yo, what's happening? Alright, so we got, how strong is Jolyne Cujoh? Ain't this Jotaro's daughter? Bro, I don't even know what the hell going on anymore, bro.
How strong is Jolyne Cujoh? You know what it is. We've been at this for 6 years now, and if you didn't know, well, then now you do. With the determination that rivals the entire franchise and a battle IQ to match, Jolyne makes a case for being one of the strongest characters in the franchise. Honestly speaking, if it wasn't for the range of JoJo's abilities and how ridiculous they can really get, I think most people would consider her to be one of the main contenders anyways. But they exist, so what are you gonna do? So first, let's go about her strength. We have a lot of fights to work from, but the most notable ones we'll have is against Pucci and the stand user of Planet Waves, Viviano.
Hold on, she fought the black nigga, bro? Is this like the main character of one of the parts or some shit?
Westwood. And as it goes right now, the Planet Waves fight in specific has been calculated from ranges to building level to even highball extents of town level. This is perfectly fine. People have their own scaling in calcs, but I'm going to just give you what she's done and you can lean into what you're thinking. Jolyne, for the most part, has a lot in her fights that lean more into the aspect, or more so the ability aspect of Stone Free. But she has the second fight with Pucci, or well, I guess you can just call that an interaction. Her long-range punch using the environment against Versace and Underworld, that was one. Punching away small meteors from space, again, because we really have to mention this again. How odd of a feat this is. And you know, she has a bunch of stand barrages here.
Hold on, was them little mini ass meteors fucking up her fist? How?
There. When it comes to fighting against Pucci, there's a good bit to pull from there. Pucci has shown himself to be a lethal force in general, and in terms of speed, has reacted to Jolyne's attacks before. Jolyne has also reacted to Pucci, but when it comes to who was stronger, not too sure. Even on a skill level, right? They've shown themselves to be comparable. But Jolyne begins to build a bigger case for herself as time goes on. Meanwhile, you have Pucci, who's just outright strong.
Wait, hold on. This nigga Pucci is way faster than her. From what I seen, bro, whatever ability he got, bro, that nigga, he's a nigga. That's all I gotta say, bro.
Because considering that Pucci's stand does develop over time, Jolyne's stuff sticks out because it develops more about what she can do. And except for when you get to Maiden Heaven, because that isn't even close at all, but when you have Sea Moon, she has done a phenomenal job against fighting against that stand and that wild of an ability. But I guess, you know, TLDR comparable to Whitesnake. As for what that is, in the general scope of JoJo, it's a bit more difficult to work with since we don't have a reoccurring character that can show what the new level of stand users could be on. Hold on. We had Jotaro in part 6. Yes, true. But he didn't even really get to do anything to establish where anyone would be in terms of strength, I guess. So without any gymnastics, all we know is that Maiden Heaven was the most broken one on here. Something that is alluded to though is that if Jotaro had chose to stop Pucci over saving Jolyne, he could have done it. And that only really tells us that Jotaro strength-wise is stronger than anyone there. This is basically a non-statement because let's be honest, how many characters in JoJo have been stronger than Jotaro? There's not a lot. So TLDR in strength-wise scaling.
Bro, to me, that don't even make sense, bro. Like, so many of these motherfuckers got way better stands than this dude.
Jotaro over, I guess, everyone in that part, and Jolyne and Pucci at the higher end. If we're being truly honest, they're probably top 3 here, except that there is a case made for some of the other characters, like Weather Report, for example. And for an off-the-script thing here too, one of the things that people don't really consider is matchup scaling, because some characters' abilities do work better against other characters' abilities, and that's just the case. Just because Sheik does really well against Marth doesn't mean that Sheik is a better character than Marth. And you can apply that to a lot of things. Now you may be asking, Caleb, was that a melee reference in the middle of a JoJo video? Yeah, points have to be made, And I don't really have a lot of examples. Now for speed. So we know that Jolyne and Pucci are comparable.
Hold on, they comparable? What the fuck? Do they not see how fast this motherfucker is moving, bro?
Jotaro does actually help in this instance because, for example, for Jotaro to be in this predicament, Whitesnake has to be fast enough to be able to tag Jotaro off of a single decision. Jotaro was able to both shove Jolyne out of the way and deflect multiple bullets because of how fast he is. Going for Pucci would have meant that he couldn't have done both of those other things. So Pucci would have to be in that faster than light range of speed to make Jotaro regret that decision. He's not faster than Jotaro, that isn't exactly implied here, but the idea is that he's fast enough to be a considerable problem if not focused on. Now with Jolyne being able to react to Pucci, even if the idea is that she can see that some of his moves are telegraphed or whatever the heck you want to believe in, we have the same case as in the strength scaling. As for non-comparison stuff and just more direct feats, she had punched away a bunch of bullets, you know, some regular JoJo stance stuff. She had also thrown a bunch of baseballs 1,000 times in total before Mira-Sean's debt collector could do anything. JoJo's character's durability is usually
how many
on par with their
times, bro?
strength, so I think
Damn.
we don't really have to go into durability for now. But if you want to, here's Jolyne on fire and a bunch of other times that she's been massively injured and still lived. So, you know, that works. Now, as for her battle IQ, in the fight against Foo Fighters, not only was she able to figure out how the stand works.
Foo Fighters? Who the fuck, bro? This nigga got that shit from a video game.
But how it even came to be? She also preemptively turned a part of her body into string and used that to grapple Foo Fighters. She had also figured out that the hallucination dream situation that Whitesnake had put her into wasn't real and was able to act on it after waking up. She figured this out ahead of Jotaro too, by the way, just saying. In addition to that, her use of her stand is amazing. She's made a net of frogs to defend herself, disguise herself more so, and I don't really condone it, you know, I'm a big frog guy, but you know, I understand. She's made an entire tripwire system to catch an invisible alligator. She's also gotten hit with Sea Moon's gravity ability directly, which would destroy majority of the characters in JoJo, but she had then turned her body into a Mobius strip to counteract it. Do you know how
What
many
the hell?
characters in JoJo can get hit by Sea Moon and survive? Most of the characters that we have that are super strong just don't get hit at all, and it's just like, oh, okay, good, because if they were to get hit, oh, maybe they wouldn't survive this. You want an example? Vanilla Ice. If he was to get hit by that, he would turn inside out. It wouldn't even be Vanilla Ice at that point. It'd just be like the milkman. Anyway, she doesn't have the ability to just heal herself or others in the way that Josuke and Giorno can, and you're just like, oh, okay, I'm all better. But her string game is wild. She's got sutures and stitches so well that you can just go on fighting anyways. Oh yeah, and she's used Stone Free as a printer. I wouldn't even thought of that. And used it to walk on water. You would
Motherfucker think she froze on. Relax with that, bro. Yo, I've never heard of this motherfucker, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I gotta look up her stand because that shit looks kind of OP, just a tad bit. Remind me of Hakazu.
would think that with the ability alone, there'd be a lot of limiting things. But Jolyne goes to show that it's not necessarily about what the power is, it's about how you use it. And that kind of means that a lot of the other people that have string abilities are just kind of whack by comparison, you know what I mean? And that's why I think she's a ridiculously strong stand user. And in case I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good
Yeah, appreciate all of that, but shut the hell up. I ain't gonna lie, her stuff looks overpowered, but bro, I still just feel like she just weak as hell, bro. I've never heard of her, bro. Even the strongest stand shit, I've never heard of her.